In life, we will have good times and bad times. The good times are great, but the bad times can be really challenging. When you are going through a difficult time, it can be very hard to see any light at the end of the tunnel. You may feel like you're never going to get through this period and that things will never get better again. It is during these challenging moments when we need encouragement the most, something that will pick us up and make us smile again. The Bible is packed with verses of encouragement to help us in our darkest hour. The Lord is near. The Bible says in Psalm 34:18 that the Lord is near to all who call on Him. This is a great verse of encouragement when you feel alone. You may feel overwhelmed by your circumstances, you might be going through a difficult divorce, or even trying to cope with a sick loved one in hospital. Whatever the difficulty you are facing, God promises that He is near to help you through those challenging times. When we are going through a difficult time, we feel alone and in need of human company and support. However, sometimes it is best to seek out the company of God. This is because God is the only one who can help you through your situation. No human being can solve your problems or change your circumstances. Only God can do that. Trust God. Some situations in life are completely out of our control. When we are trying to make sense of a difficult situation, it can be hard to trust God. For example, you may have lost a loved one or be going through a challenging pregnancy and be unsure of the outcome. When something like this happens, you may start questioning and doubting God. You might think something like, why would God allow something like this to happen? In times like this, we need to remember to trust God. This doesn't mean that you don't question God or try to make sense of these difficult situations. It just means that you keep your focus on God and that He is in control. Remember that God has the bigger picture in mind. He knows what is best for you and your loved ones. We might not understand God's reason, but it still exists. Trusting God when you feel like nothing makes sense is one of the best verses of encouragement for tough times. Stay strong and keep going. As humans, we are naturally weak. When we try to do something, we are bound to make mistakes. We aren't perfect, and that is okay. However, we can easily get caught up in our mistakes. We can let them hold us back from achieving our dreams and make us feel like a failure. If you tend to beat yourself up over your mistakes, this can be very challenging. It can make you feel like you're never going to achieve anything again. In tough times, you have to learn how to connect with God, stay strong and keep going. There will be times in your life when you feel like you're never going to get through a challenge. You may be going through a difficult breakup, struggling to make ends meet, or trying to juggle a demanding job. When you're in a situation like this, it can be easy to give up, give in, and say, I can't do this. This is the worst thing that you can do. Instead, you need to lean on your connection with God, keep pushing through and keep your head high. You've made it this far, so there's no reason why you can't finish what you're doing. Even if you make a mistake, you can't let it stop you from moving forward. There's no point in dwelling on your mistakes. The best thing that you can do is connect with God, try again, and keep going. Don't let your hardships define you. When we go through challenging times, it can be easy to get trapped in them. You may find yourself holding on to a difficult situation and letting it define you. For example, you may be going through a divorce, but don't let that define you. There will be times in your life when it feels like everything is against you. You may feel like you're going through a never-ending storm. You may feel like you're being bombarded by one difficulty after another. If you let a difficult situation define you, it can be very challenging to get out of it. However, if you let it be a reminder that you are human, it can be an empowering experience. Only let God define you. He says you are wonderfully made. The light at the end of the tunnel. The Bible says in Psalm 112:7 that the wicked will be silenced, but the righteous will be rewarded. When you are going through a challenging time, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to connect with God, keep going and have faith that the light is there. There is no such thing as a never-ending storm. Something will change, and the light will break through once again. There will be times in your life when you feel like nothing is going right. It is during these difficult times when we need the most encouragement. Life isn't always easy, but we can make it a little easier by remembering to connect to God through the encouraging Bible verses. The Bible is a great resource that can help in these challenging moments. Seek God and you will receive the encouragement you need.